In this video, we're going to take a look at how to defeat the Act 3 Elite, the Giant Head, using a fully unlocked Ironclad. The current deck that I'm using is mostly just a hodgepodge of cards. It's nothing real streamlined into one main concept. Not really the best way to build a deck, but I kind of started with one thing, tried to do another, and it ended up just into a bunch of nothing. A couple of concepts that I am going for is strength gain via Inflame as well as Flex. Combine that with something like the Heavy Blade on the Reaper. Those are two great concepts. A big heal plus just big damage. Otherwise, there's really not much to go off of here. I do like to try and get vulnerable out there, even though Bash is a little bit expensive. I do have a couple of Thunderclaps to keep things going there. Because of the marbles, everybody always starts vulnerable. That makes for a good opening turn. Other relics in play. Upgraded blood, so I got the black blood, so I get 12 heal after every fight. To play into the strength gain, I do have the shuriken, so every time I play 3 attacks, I gain 1 strength, which because I have extra energy, that's usually pretty doable. One of the big ones is Frozen Eye. Frozen Eye plays a big part when you're using card draw. You can determine if you want to use this or not use this based on what's going to be coming up next. When I play potions, I heal 5, and then that's about it for relics that are in play here. Potions, I do have 3 potions. Regen will probably be the one that I need the most, just because of where it, he does a lot of damage once we get up towards the end of this. So I'll probably need health, just don't know exactly where. And so I'll gain 5 health plus the 15. We just need to make sure that we play this where we have 5 turns so we can maximize its effectiveness, that's all. Okay, that being said, let's get into the first turn here. So when we look at the Giant Head, if you've never fought this guy before or you're having a hard time with it, play close attention to the slow debuff. That is the key to winning this fight consistently. Basically, when you play a card, he takes more damage. Common sense says to play your non-attack cards first, so you can boost that as high as possible. So for my purposes here, I want to make sure I play Thunderclap and Strike at the very end, because I'm going to do more damage by playing non-attack cards first. So I'll upgrade my entire hand. Pretty much have to play Ghostly Armor, because I don't want to lose it because it's ethereal. But I have the block covered. Shrug it off. There's no point in playing it, but we would have the card draw on there. Ultimately, I wouldn't want double tap to be on this turn anyways, because I already have this turn covered. So this will actually work better on the next turn with Bash. We can get more benefit out of that than we would on this turn here. As far as which card to play first, generally I say play the lower damage card first to maximize that of the higher damage card. That's just simple math. If you want to argue with me on it, we can certainly do that. Alright, so opening turn was pretty good. Took him down 30 damage for really only dishing out a little bit, courtesy of the slow and the vulnerable. As I said, his full attack is covered, allows us to go into the next turn. Just keep on rolling. So now, double tap is up. We have Inflame. Obviously, we're going to play Inflame, and it's a non-attack, so we can play that in any order. Bash and Anger. Double tap has to be played before one of these here, but in order to maximize the slow debuff, I feel like I want Bash to be last. So playing double tap, then Bash, then Anger is a little bit out of order. So I'll take the little bit of sacrifice and damage and play Anger first, then double tap, and then Bash, 19, and then times 2, plus I get the 5 vulnerable up there. So we're sitting good as far as vulnerable. The longer we can keep that up, certainly the easier he's going to beat. This is the first attack that he's going to hit me pretty hard, and I'm actually going to take some damage. So basically after this turn, I'm thinking playing my regen potion is probably going to be a smart play. Alright, he is not attacking just yet, so I'm just going to hold off one more turn to play the regen potion, I think. This particular turn, I don't have any card draw, So it's really just a matter of playing Cleave and Rampage last. They're the same damage, so that doesn't really matter. I'll play just all 3 of these cards here. And that's about all we can do there. Alright, his countdown was getting down there. And he's at 3/4 health. We're sitting okay now, but we're going to need some big attacks coming up. So Heavy Blade is what I was looking for. I would have liked this to be a little bit stronger at this point. My strength is not that great yet. But we want this one to be last. We'll play Armaments so we can upgrade the Heavy Blade. At least gives me a little bit more damage there. Then we have 3 energy across 2 different components here. I think I'm going to go with damage. Deals 11 damage there. I can soak a little bit of his damage. The little bit of block that I would get is negligible for the most part. Alright, so Heavy Blade is done with. Would have been nice if we could have played that with double tap or even with dual wield to get more of them in the deck, but it is what it is. Alright, so now we are at an interesting turn because we have Warcry and we have Pommel Strike. Both of these are card draw cards, and so we need to look at our deck. So card draw, defend, and strike. So if I took this one, I'd get defend and then strike with Warcry. Not really all that great. But we don't have much to spend on this turn here. I think Warcry would be great to put Flex back in the deck. Putting Flex in the deck with Reaper would be fantastic, because I would get a better heal out of this, save me from having to use my regen potion. So looking at the rest of the cards, if I were to play some card draw, I could possibly get this strength in combined with the Reaper card as well. So what I think I'm going to do here, because he is still vulnerable, I think doing dual wield on Pommel Strike is actually going to be a smart play, because it'll allow me to cycle through a couple of these. Then the next turn is going to be Anger, Reaper, Seeing Red, Inflame, and Strike. I think that is going to be a great turn. So dual wield on Pommel Strike. The damage because of vulnerable goes up to 21. Now 23. Now 25. That's because it's going up because of the slow debuff. And then we have no energy left, but Warcry was going to be used to put Flex back in my deck. I actually drew Anger. That's great. Put Flex on my deck. Play Anger to put one more pot shot on him. Look at how much damage that goes up. So 11 goes up to 24. So that's a heavy hit courtesy of the combined debuffs. So that's how you're going to win this fight, is playing off of that slow debuff. But he's at the point now where he is going to get a bit ornery. So countdown wise, tick tock, tick tock. I think that's pretty much it. He's just going to keep growing stronger and stronger at this point, so now I have to essentially finish him off. I do get one big heal coming up with Reaper, though, because I'm going to do Inflame. I'm going to do Flex. I'm even going to do Seeing Red for the proc here. That's an extra 10% damage. And then we're going to play Strike first. And then we're going to play Reaper. 31 heal, so that brings me up to 79, so that's a heck of a heal. Basically makes this turn, even though I'm not blocking, a net gain of, not much. So I mean, it's a very good, solid turn. because I have enough now between this turn and the next turn to actually soak both of them. Because he's going to go up to 40, then 45, then 50, and so on and so forth. Alright, another instance of card draw. We're going to draw 2 cards, so we want to double check on that. Trip, that's a free play, because it is free. I don't have anything that's going to duplicate it or make it more potent. Fire breathing, let's not play that until we see what the card draw is going to be. Warcry and Wild Strike. Unfortunately, that's the end of my deck. That's kind of a bummer there. It's going to be a little bit of a gambit there, because I want to play cards to maximize pummel if I can. So we'll do Fire Breathing, and then I think we'll play Pommel Strike now. The block, I don't necessarily need the block because I have this turn covered. And then if he kills me the next turn, I have the Fairy in a Bottle. So I don't need the block. But playing the Pommel will give me the 2 cards. And now I can Warcry. This is where the gamble comes in, because I don't know what the next card's going to be because my deck is empty. But it will allow me to possibly get something good, which is a strike card. So strike is damage. I'll take that, I guess. I can't play all of them, so it honestly doesn't matter. Let's just throw it back up there. Wild Strike for 39. 87. 9 times 4 is 36. With the vulnerable, it's going to be 20 times 4, which is 80. Didn't quite kill him. That's kind of a bummer. And he's going to whittle me down pretty good there. That's a shame. I mean, I'm going to kill him on the next turn. But boy, would I have liked to finish him off on this turn here. He's going to take me down to 10 health. And the regen potion is wasted at this point. Alright, well, we're just going to have to kill him on the next turn, I guess. But he's dead, and it's just a rough go for me here. And there you go. So I'll heal back to 28. I will likely have a healing campsite that I can go to, but I do have that regen potion as well as other potions. Anyways, that is the giant head. So obviously you can see burst damage is key early on, but also if you have a lot of 0-cost cards, very, very potent way to deal damage because you buff it 10% every time. So use that to your advantage. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave those below. Otherwise, we'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.